Life is not easy. It is not. Don't try to make it that way. Life's not fair. It never was. It isn't now, and it won't ever be. Do not fall into the trap, the entitlement trap, of feeling like you're a victim. You are not. Get over it and get on with it. And yes, most things are more rewarding when you break a sweat to get them. Give others and yourself more credit. It just happened. You witnessed it. You just did it. Believe it.
It's easy to give up.
Hell yeah.
It's the easiest thing in the world to do. I'm done. I ain't going.
Oh, yeah.
I ain't gonna keep going.
Yeah,
I don't feel like going to work.
The one,
yeah, man. It's easy. It's very easy. But what's hard is going, yo, yesterday I got nothing from working as hard as I could. Nothing happened from that. I'm gonna do the same thing again today, but I'm gonna try to go harder. That's the hardest thing in the world. To get up every day and give 100% and be in the same position that you were each day, but mentally know that you're trying and trying and trying. That's a real.
Well, I think that the number one thing is you have to have a very clear vision, a very clear goal of where you want to go, because only then you will get there. You can have the best airplane or the best ship in the world, but if the captain doesn't know where to go, he will just drift around. If the pilot does not know where to go, he will just drift around with his plane. So I think the key thing is that we know where we're going and that you're very passionate about that you see it always in front of you, the goal. And the other thing that's important is that you got to shoot for the top. You got to go and really have big goals and think big, because then you're going to get big. Then you're going to go and achieve big things. That is the most important thing. You know, we don't achieve big things by accident. So shoot for the top, shoot for the sky, shoot for the, for the stars.
The road to success is never easy, but listen, if you wait for the perfect moment, you'll be waiting forever. Stop doubting, stop waiting, stand up, take the first step, and make your future happen. Because no one else will do it for you.
If you concentrate solely on your career, you can get a long way in your career. And I would say that that's a strategy that a minority of men preferentially do. That's all they do. They work like 70, 80 hours a week. They go flat out on their career. They're staking everything on the small probability of exceptional status in a narrow domain. But it's hard on them. They don't have a life. It's very difficult for them to have a family. They don't know how to take any leisure activity. Like, they get very one-dimensional. Now, it may be that unidimensionality is the price you have to pay to be exceptional at one thing, right? Because if you're going to be something like a genius level mathematician and you want to do that or a scientist, say, it's like you're in your lab all the time, you're working 70 hours a week or 80 hours a week, you're smart, you're dedicated, you're unidimensional, and that's how you get to beat all the other people who are doing that. It's the only way.
One, try to be better than me. Use me as much as you want. Use what I do. You can use my platform, you can use my words, you can use the inspiration that I try to give, but anyway, you can be great at doing what you love to do. You got to commit to it. You can't want something but not put in the work. And it doesn't matter what you're doing in life, no matter what it is. It could be a professional athlete, or it could be an artist, it could be a doctor, it could be anything in the world, a president of the United States. But you got to put the work in. And I think if you put the work in, the results will happen organically. And most importantly, you got to find happiness too. If you're having fun, enjoying what you're doing, then it makes it so much easier. It makes it so much easier to just you want to do it every day because it's something that you really enjoy doing and you don't look at it as work.
I've had many struggles. I've had blood clots in both my lungs at the same time, and I lived through tragedies and controversies, and people looked down on me, put me down because I didn't look like them. I looked stronger. I've had people look past me because of the color of my skin. I've had people overlook me because I was a woman. I had critics say I will never win another Grand Slam when I was only at number 7, and now here I stand today with 21 Grand Slam titles, and I'm still going. And I cannot help but think of my favorite poet, Maya Angelou, and she has this poem called "And Still I Rise." So here it goes. You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me with the very dirt, but still, like dust, I rise. Just like moon and suns with the certainty of tides, just like hopes and springing high, still I rise.
It is a habit, a practice, a philosophy, and a way of living. All successful men and women are highly disciplined in the important work that they do. All unsuccessful men and women are undisciplined and unable to control their behaviors and their appetites. And when you develop the same levels of high personal discipline possessed by the most goal-oriented, successful people in our society, you will very soon begin to achieve the same results that they do. It's no miracle.
If you're going to be great at something, you've got to make the effort to be great at something. Whether it's sports, whether it's physics, math, science, business, whatever it may be, you know, it's not just a natural skill. You've got to learn, and particularly if you're in the technology industry, because it changes every day. You know, when I got started after I was a bartender when I first came to Dallas, got into the PC industry, got fired, started my own company. But I learned early on that there was always something new, and most people didn't put in the time to learn it.
So what is a business? A business is simply about creating something that makes life better for other people. And so if you can do that, you've got a business. The second thing you've got to do is find a great team of people to work for you. Make sure that you motivate them well. Make sure you look for the best in them. Make sure lots and lots of praise you lavish upon. Make sure you have a lot of fun doing it. Make sure your staff have a lot of fun, your customers have a lot of fun. Because life's too short to take it too seriously. And finally, just good luck. And I hope one day to buy one of your products or use one of your services.
I'm not sure I learned this when I was at Apple, but I learned it based on the data when I was at Apple. And that is, I now take a longer term view on people. In other words, when I see something not being done right, my first reaction isn't to go fix it. It's to say, we're building a team here and we're going to do great stuff for the next decade, not just the next year. And so what do I need to do to help so that the person that's screwing up learns versus how do I fix the problem? And that's painful sometimes. And I still have that first instinct to go fix the problem, but that's taking a longer term view on people is probably the biggest thing that's changed. And then I don't know, that's, maybe the part that's biological.
I don't want to be like the rest of these NBA players. I got to teach myself, because this is something that we don't know. Like, my family work paycheck to paycheck. We never had no money, but I had to get that Benz. I had to get my mom a Benz. Like, I just had to get that first. So after I spent that $1 million in a day, I sort of, educated myself. And it's okay not to know nothing. So if you don't know nothing, you just ask questions. So everybody I saw that was successful, how you do that? How you do that? How you do that? And the first book I bought was The Dummy's Guide to Starting Your Own Business. Everybody should get that book, because they give you all the answers on how to start a business, how to be successful, what to look for. So after that, I became a little more literate, but I still didn't know a lot. Another good thing is it's always important to have somebody smarter than you that works for you.
Yeah, I think that's the truth. Yeah, absolutely.
If you're the smartest guy in the room, there's a problem. Like, I always go to these tech conferences because I like to hear smart people talk. Like, some people talk too much. And I like the people that talk too much because I'm stealing all this shit.
The truth is very concise. The words are very few. But people don't want to hear the truth, because the truth hurts. But you grow from pain. You really do. You can't know how to deal with success. You can't know how to deal with failures. You can't know how to deal with the bumps in the road that if you haven't had a taste of everything. And once you remember that bitter taste in your mouth, you never want to feel that again. We're in physical pain, but when I blew my knee out, all right, that was actually the start, unknowingly, of my career as, I don't like to consider myself, as the other words, I don't like to consider myself as a trainer, okay? I'm not a trainer, okay? Quest is not just a bar, okay? Right? There's a lot of people that are just a something. There's very few people that are the something.
Look, human beings, we can't help ourselves but compare ourselves to others.
And comparison is the deadliest thing we can do to ourselves, because we will always come up short. I mean, all it does is exaggerate all of our insecurities. It's okay to enjoy other people's success, but you let them live their lives and you live your life. Oh, and by the way, they're curating their social media. That's not really their life. And so you're making decisions based on how you feel, based on their curated things. I know, I've talked to so many millennials. I know somebody who's out of work, really depressed, and yet she goes and does all these things so she has the appearance of this amazing, successful life.
The mere fact that we're addressing it dramatically reduces any stress that might come from it. So stress comes from ignoring things that you shouldn't be ignoring, I think in large part. So stress doesn't come, people get stress wrong all the time, in my opinion. Stress doesn't come from hard work, for example. You know, you can be working incredibly hard and loving it. And likewise, you can be out of work and incredibly stressed over that. So, and likewise, if you kind of use that as an analogy for what I was just talking about, if you're out of work, but you're going through, a disciplined approach of, a series of job interviews and so on, and working to remedy that situation, you're going to be a lot less stressed than if you're just worrying about it and doing nothing.
I spend almost all my time on people, strategy, and execution. And I think that most everything else falls from those. If you have the most brilliant people, wicked smart people that collaborate well together, if you set in our case, we're all about products. So our strategy is very product oriented. If that strategy is right, and if you're executing like crazy, there's some things that still arise, but if you get those three right, then the world is a great place.
I gave the sport of boxing my whole life. I dedicated my whole life to the sport of boxing. And all I ever wanted to do was put my family, my mother, my father in a comfortable position. My dad is a millionaire. My mother, she's a millionaire. And the investments were for my grandchildren, not just my children. Yeah. I've been in a boxing gym and guys have given me great sparring and great work. Right. And it made me go home because they said ass whooping will humble you. And if a guy give me great work in the boxing gym, I'll go home and say, you gotta tighten up, champ. Yeah. You gotta get it together, champ. And then sometimes I go home and say, is this for me? Really? Yeah, I mean, if somebody give me some good work if I go to the gym slacking, which I shouldn't go to the gym slacking, but I'm only human, like I said before. I make mistakes, but I strive every day to be a perfectionist. And we all know God only made one thing perfect, and that's my boxing record.
The confidence I have when I'm out there is different. No matter how far you think you're ahead of me, I'm gonna catch you. That's our mentality that I go there. I'm never scared of anything, never scared of anyone. One thing I've learned over the years from my coach, that the last one is the most important one. That's when you improve. So if you got 6 and you're in 5, and you're starting to work, days off now because your legs are dead, and you gotta push your body. You gotta overcome. It's like you.
Hey you. Yes, you. Today is your day. You got this. You're absolutely crushing it at everything you do, from your job to maintaining a social life to pursuing your passion projects. You're killing it. Ignore anyone who tells you otherwise, because you're amazing. The only thing more beautiful than your smile is your personality. Yeah, I said it. You're more than capable to take on the world, the whole world, by storm. Speaking of the world, did you know that it's a better place because you're in it? I mean, your mum brags about you all the time. Dogs love you. You're strong, you're confident, you're intelligent, you're charismatic, you're the total package. On a scale from 1 to 10, you are an 11. You make me want to be a better man. You're bloody brilliant. You're brilliant. Don't forget it, okay? Do not forget it. Now go out there, take the day by storm, and remember this: I'm proud of you. I'm so proud of you.